the impact of this in a much more thorough way than what we're seeing right now.
Thank you. Mr. Hawkins, you played a pivotal role in the Opportunity Zone legislation in your time as being a member of the staff. Part of the Opportunity Zone legislation that was left out in the final package was transparency and reporting requirements. Opportunity zones have already become one of the most successful provisions of the Republican tax cuts. Can you speak to the importance of including these requirements and how it would further boost Opportunity Zone investment?
Thank you, Chairman Kelly. Transparency reporting requirements are absolutely critical. So what we know from a UC Berkeley study, a Treasury Department study, and some private information brought together by an accounting firm called Novogradac, that $100 billion at least in equity has gone into opportunity zones thus far. From the Treasury study, we have a feel for what percentage of each state's opportunity zones got investment. So for instance, Pennsylvania, be it about 44% of the designated zones saw some investment. And so we have some very broad understanding that the policy is being impactful in a positive way. But it's like looking through a window, a car window with mud on it. And transparency and reporting legislation would essentially be like a windshield wiper, just pulling the mud off. And so, the legislation that we appreciate, so deeply appreciate you introducing, would empower Treasury to compare the performance of opportunity zones against areas that could have been designated as zones but weren't, and also compare the performance, economic performance across a number of key metrics with the broader economy. And that will allow you all on this panel to tweak the policy, but with a clean window, if you will, with a full understanding of what needs to happen to make the policy even more impactful.
Yeah, could you speak maybe a little bit too on how the Opportunity Zone would have an impact on rural communities?
Yes, so that's absolutely critical. One of the things that we've seen, right now we have an entire Opportunity Zone map that gives us a feel again for how diffuse the investment has been. So certain states like Mississippi, 65% of their opportunity zones have seen investment. Places like Utah have seen significant investment. Montana, once again, above 60%. We've seen other states where you're looking at below 40%. And so one key element to drive, that will immediately drive capital into rural opportunity zones would be this feeder funds or fund of funds addition to the policy. What it basically enables is it enables folks who don't know specifically where they want to invest or how to just give that money to smaller impact-oriented funds that know exactly what they want to do. And in rural areas, you're more likely to see investment in operating businesses. In the dense urban areas, you're obviously, more likely to see investment in real estate. And so favoring operating businesses through feeder funds, favoring smaller impact-oriented investors through feeder funds and a fund-to-funds concept would absolutely jumpstart rural investment.
Thank you. Jason, I wanted to ask you a little bit. So without the opportunity zones,